Baby.
It was nice. That's all you need to know.
So they say. There was no grand entrance.
That was grand, bruh.
Not really. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. We are Black and Blending. Today we will be talking about marriage and parenting in blending families.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. Basically, we thought that was a really interesting topic to touch on. We're not experts, né? We are not experts. Disclaimer, terms and conditions. We are not experts. Antalohanya, relax. We just want to share our experience with people who can relate. Not everybody wants to hear from an expert every time. So we are here just dissipating our experience, you understand what I'm saying, and sharing it out there for those that want to just hear from people who they can relate to. Somebody out there is married, somebody out there is a parent, somebody out there is a step parent. No.
Somebody out there is blending.
Yeah, so that's what it is. That's what it is. So first things first.
What it is. So. Anyway.
You weird, dude. Understand?
Yes,
have you ever watched the show Who on Earth Did You Marry?
Yes, I watched it yesterday because of what you did.
You know the show Who on Earth Did You Marry?
Awa. Between you and me, who's crazy?
Who on Earth Did I Marry?
I shall reserve.
Yeah, basically, dude, now I feel like with regards to this whole spectrum of parenting and marriage, right? Especially for those who get into blended families. Because when you get into a blended family, you know, this is presuming that the kids and everybody are living under one roof, right?
Okay.
It's a lot harder to get into it romantically. You understand? It can kind of be disconcerting for somebody who gets into a marriage and wants to experience their wife or their husband, you know, outside of the children, but you know, you're already out here on parent mode, you know. So I feel like what's important is for everybody to always keep like an awareness, a sense of awareness that like you're not just a parent, you're a husband or a wife too.
Yeah. Especially,
let me just speak from my perspective, especially the women, né? Because the woman is, you know, nurturer, the what, and so women can like typically get more attached to children than men. You check. You find instances where men they leave the marriage or whatever. Why? Because in fact the woman is not being a wife anymore. You know?
She's more of a mother.
Yeah, you're just a mom. That's all you're doing.
She put her kids above her husband.
Yeah, so honestly that can bring a man down. And I feel like, you know, when you as a woman show to the right person, show proper affection, show proper, you know, effort towards trying to be a wife or spouse to them, the man will commit more to the child, whether they're biological or not.
Yeah.
And tell, hey, these flies are a problem, but yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the fly population is expanding or something?
I don't know.
Anyway, my bad. Yeah, I feel like that's the case. Like people need to be more aware of how important, dude. Like you and your spouse are running the show, right? I mean, if your spouse isn't feeling you, how will they run the show with you?
And also at the same time, what people forget is that we're raising, you're raising these children to leave one day. Obviously, to
but
venture out into the world.
they were gonna go.
What happens after that? If you don't build a good foundation,
You think they're gonna stay with you? They're gonna go. When you're a Magriza, you know what I'm saying? When you're old, granddad, grandpa, grandma, you think their kids are gonna be there for you? Like, okay, they'll be there for you.
I just think, and also,
but they're not gonna, you know, they're not trying to, you know, you're not their spouse, man. At some point, they're going to prioritize somebody over you. That's what you're trying to raise your kids for.
Of course.
Trying to make them prioritize somebody who is a decent human being
And your
over
your marriage must be a good example for them.
Yeah,
They mustn't see mommy was always with the kids, and
Yeah.
didn't give dad enough time. So for me, what I feel like you should
And
have.
honestly, this dynamic especially applies to single parents. People get into, like, honestly, this is just my honest opinion, because you're already prioritizing somebody in your life, your child in your life.
Yeah, and now you have to try and adjust
Try and
to fit
adjust.
somebody else.
Yeah, so you need to be aware. You need to be aware of just how much, especially when you're dating somebody who themselves they don't have a child, because when they don't have a child, they're already prioritizing you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
And there's also something where, like single, okay, if you are, let's say you are in a relationship or you are married and it ended in a divorce, and you are left to be a single parent. When you get in a different in a new relationship or in a new marriage, it's difficult for you to just, okay, you trust this person, but to just like give them, that opportunity to be parents. It's difficult because you were in a relationship where you thought, or in a marriage where you thought this would last forever, and this person deceived you, so you were broken. You understand? That marriage broke you, it damaged you, and it damaged the kids as well. But what we forget is that if your kids see you in a happy marriage, you understand? Because a happy marriage can heal you, it'll also heal your children. You understand? So I find it like I find it difficult for people who go into marriages and then they don't trust their partners to help them raise their kids.
You need to be receptive to the right person.
Yeah, if you don't trust somebody, don't marry them.
You can see, okay, this guy is Captain Africa and Kaloranya.
Captain Africa.
Yeah, I can't know Captain America. Captain Africa. Ne? This person is Captain Africa is coming to save the day. You can see what Hashem. This person is gonna treat me proper.
Yes.
Why are you, you're blocking them off. You're not being receptive.
And also, I feel like your marriage should be an example of what your children would want to follow. Because like with me, with my parents, they're my example. You understand? Like even with my husband's parents, they're also an example because they've been married for a long time, been through a lot of challenges, and that's where I personally get the strength from. So like I just feel like what's important is you must have time to yourself. Like maybe put your children to bed early, and say you don't have to go to sleep. However, don't come out of your room because this is mom and dad's time. You understand? Then you have that time. Then you have date nights. Even if you can't afford to go to a fancy hotel, maybe you can go to a fancy hotel every 3 months, and then you allow the children to obviously parent themselves depending on age, or you can get somebody to watch over them. You just create, like little things that bring you guys together, because at the end of everything, your marriage is important. Your marriage is the reason.
Your lover. The reason why you guys are even married in J is because of the fact that y'all were freaky. You understand? Don't forget that. Yeah, you're freaky. Yeah. You're freaky.
Freaky.
You're freaky. That's why there is a marriage in the first place. So people need.
Freaky.
Shut up. Sarah. Hey Joe, icon.
Anyway, come on, the carry on.
Icon. Anyway, yeah, bruh. Like it's important for people to just always contain and preserve the romance within your marriage. You need to don't slack, bruh. That's really the end of a marriage.
Yeah.
End of a marriage is where everybody just decides, I'm just gonna be a parent. I'm not gonna be a husband or wife. That's it.
And another thing about that's difficult in blending families is the co-parenting part of it, because you have your own rules at home and your partner also has his own rules, and maybe his rules doesn't abide to the rules that you have. You understand? And that's obviously very difficult for the children, especially when they're very young, because they go to dad's house, they have ice cream all day every day, and they come to mom's like, eat your veggies and drink your water, that kind of thing. I just feel like it's difficult for you to go to that house and be like, hey, listen, those are my kids too, I want them to eat vegetables or whatever. But I just feel like you don't know what your partner is doing there. So before your kids go, I think you just like be honest, have a conversation with them and just tell them, dad does things his own way, but the rules apply. there's different rules, but when you in this house, you behave according to my rules. And when you that side, it is what it is. Because there are co-parenting. When people co-parent, it's very difficult. You might go to your dad's house, and daddy's busy kissing and touching up on some woman, and you're exposed to that. And you come back home and you're like, hey, daddy was freaking. Obviously it wouldn't be a good thing for children to see stuff like that. But at the same time, your children one day will grow and will thank you for raising them the way you did, and then will probably be like, why did dad do that? He didn't have to do that. And this thing of communicating through children is a no-no. Don't do that at all. Don't involve the children in your problems of co-parenting, or even in the house. You're fighting. Go and tell your dad he can dish for himself. You understand?
Yeah.
You don't do stuff like that. You don't fight in front of the kids. Whenever the kids see you, they must always
I think
see
it's
a
difficult.
happy,
This whole
marriage.
co-parenting thing. It's a difficult environment to have.
Yeah.
Just for it to even happen. It's difficult, So really, you need to really be like everybody needs to be what? You need to sacrifice yourself from the situation. It's not about you. It's about the kids. You understand?
Yeah.
What's good for them. Every kid needs to know. Well, I personally believe there's no kid out there who doesn't want to know their biological parents. There's no one. You check. You as a step parent, don't be out here trying to replace their biological parents. The kid, whatever role you play in the child's life, will not be erased just because now they're trying to, connect with their biological parent or whatever.
Yeah.
You check. If you've raised the kid, you've raised the kid. They maybe will want to just know, hey Joe, why was this guy MIA? What's going on? Why was this guy not in my life? You understand? And they need to find out, and they'll find out for themselves when that time comes. You check. So yeah.
Like with marriage, you need patience. In blending families, you need patience, civilization, and there's a whole lot of things you need. But before we go, I just wanted to leave you guys with something to think about, right? So I read this quote somewhere, I can't remember where, but it said, the greatest love on earth is a decision and not an emotion. Right? The greatest love on earth is a
deep,
decision,
right?
And it's not an emotion. So I'll let that
That's so
sink
deep, babe.
in.
That's so deep.
Oh, thank you. I should have said I wrote that, but I didn't. I read it somewhere. I don't even remember.
It's not
where.
deep. I'm playing.
But anyway,
It's not deep.
Black and Blending
Ish.
family, we are grateful for you.
There's some
Thank
people
you
in
for
their ego.
Thank you for tuning in, watching. Please share, subscribe, comment.
Sure.
We love you. Till next time.
What?
I was giving you some love. Oh, being romantic is weird.
That wasn't romantic.
That's your
That was violent.
Hey, but
That's violent.
Shut